It's 7. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Warrenboro Public Library Board of Trustees, January 17th, 2013. We can rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, if you could call the roll.
Okay. Trustee Burke is here. Trustee Kellman
Is here.
Trustee Goldstein.
Here.
Trustee Hoffman, absent. Trustee Novick is here. Trustee Peters
He's here.
and Mr. Albers.
Here. We go to the approval of the minutes of the board meeting of December 13th, 2012.
I have a few problems with it.
Can I have a motion to approve?
So,
She just said she did.
well, yeah, but we have to approve.
We have to
Motion
motion
first,
and
and
Then you
yeah.
discuss, get it on the table first.
Motion to approve?
Approve.
Second.
Sure.
Any discussion?
Yes. Under roll call, I suggest we change it to Treasurer Peters call the roll. Under present, I suggest that we take out Mr. Bird's name because he is listed as absent.
Yes.
And
How we do this?
and I would suggest. Do we pay you to read these? Okay, Doc.
You better do it before people that read
We
them.
all read this.
Oh, okay, now I'm feeling pretty
The check
good.
after
Yeah.
I looked at it this afternoon and I, you didn't see it?
And
I
you were the
saw
one that
it.
wasn't here.
It was glaring at me.
Yeah. And on page 4, on the non-agenda items, I moved that just for a change in pronoun reference, just so it doesn't get mixed up, changing the word "the" to "their." Some of their trustees were solicited for donations, so that it doesn't look like it was some of us.
Got it. Last page, last line.
Did you see anything else, Bert?
No, just concern over, that I had suggested doing something about the auditorium and railings. And I just want to make sure that this is covered in the building, the
Yes,
meeting
we
that
will-
didn't happen.
We will definitely be talking about a number of things in those meetings,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I don't want it to get lost.
Any further changes? So we can have a motion to approve with the changes pointed out by Trustee Peters.
I make a motion to approve after the adjustments are made.
And a second on that?
I'll second it.
No further comments or questions? And Paul, could you call the vote?
Michelle? Trustee Kellman,
Yes.
Trustee Goldstein,
Yes.
Trustee Novick,
Yes.
Trustee Peters,
Yes.
Trustee Albers,
Yes.
Trustee Bird, yes.
All right, public comments on agenda items tonight? None. President's report, there is none tonight. Treasurer's report?
Treasurer's report. Did everybody get a chance to go over the cash statements and the income statements and check register? If there's any questions at all, you will note that $200,000 was transferred from the PME investments on the 4th of December, and they were transferred into Illinois funds because we do not know exactly when the state will start paying their tax monies to us. And so we want to just make sure that there's enough money in the Illinois funds. And if there are, and the money starts coming in, that $200,000 will be returned to the PMA first. And that was the really only thing of consequence that was discussed at our finance meeting.
I have a question on the income statement.
You bet.
under revenues, the last two items, book sale receipts and donations. I realize we were over the annual budget, so we've done okay, but maybe the annual budget number should be larger, so that we really work on donations.
You know what happened? I think it was that way because of the lack of having the Friends reconstituted. When the Friends are reconstituted, which is something else that we need to talk about, because the person that I had that was interested in the still hasn't heard.
That was one of the things I was gonna be working on this month, so.
Yeah, because I
Their
like,
money's in limbo.
I mean, you know, it's somehow,
It's also very hard to predict those.
I
too.
understand.
And so
I've worked
really
with a lot of
anything that,
donations
yeah,
my
anything that we're
entire
putting in there
career.
is a guess.
But
If we don't have a point person on it, and at this point, I don't even think we have in stone that we're going to have another book sale this year.
okay.
Yeah, so we really couldn't budget.
Yeah, it just, to me, it's a way for the community to say we like your library.
Oh, exactly, yes,
Um,
and that's why we've gotta get the Friends
You know, I mean,
reconstituted.
where I work in a museum, we even have donation boxes sitting out, and it's amazing how people drop 20s in there and things, it adds up. It's a simple method. So I just would like to see more concentration on community involvement as donators.
We do have a librarian that works on our downtown, as far as community outreach to businesses and.
We're kind of reevaluating those positions and stuff, but yes, she still does, I mean, you know, librarians go out in the community all the time.
Do they solicit?
They do not solicit for donations, that is not something that they do, so.
So until we get the Friends back.
Basically, what anyone that's going on community is doing is just making our presence known, it's not an active solicitation.
Offering library cards to
Right,
employees.
services and that kind of thing, right.
Okay, so can I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Second from Bert. No further questions or comments, can you call the vote?
Trustee Goldstein,
Yes.
trustee Norbert,
Yes.
trustee Pete,
Yes,
trustee Albers,
Yes.
trustee Burke, yes, and trustee Calhoun.
Yes. Any committee reports this month? Nothing from finance, building and grounds unfortunately didn't get together, nor did policy, so staff reports from our director.
Nothing too much more than what I put in my report to the trustees. As I said, a good part of December was spent doing personnel evaluations, conducting them, writing those up, figuring out merit increases, that sort of thing. And then just along with the regular stuff that happens throughout the month. I did have a chance to meet with a couple of different people on asbestos removal and the elevator person. We can talk about that a little later on. Some of those are discussions that we might want to hold for, as we talk about long-term building plans, that kind of thing. And that's it. Holidays kept everyone busy, lots of people on vacations, that kind of thing.
So ebook circulation doubled,
Yes,
that's gonna double again this year probably?
probably.
Mm.
It's certainly not going to go down.
Yeah.
if you had a lot of absences in the staff with the flu.
There have been some, particularly in the adult services department, has been particularly hard hit. But knock on wood, not too bad yet, but there have been some, so.
Okay, nothing further? Anything from corporate counsel?
No report this month.
All righty. Takes us to unfinished business, also known as the carpet request.
Do you want to move that further down the agenda, Mark, since that might take a little bit longer than some of these other things, or do you want to keep it in this order? It doesn't matter to me.
I mean, we can run into new business and such and then revisit. I'm okay if you want to move it around.
I just think that the new business are relatively minor points. that-
Okay, let's go to new business, then we'll come back up into the carpet. So, Famished for Fiction meetup on May 3, 2013.
Basically, I'm just asking the board's approval to remain open, have the Baxter Room remain open until 7:30 or 8 o'clock, approximately 8 o'clock that evening. The Famished for Fiction is a combination kids and YA program that we do, it's actually a YA program, no, it's kids and YA. And it happens at a bunch of the different schools in the area, and then there's one time that all the kids get together with the teachers and they get to meet up all the kids from all of the other schools. So there'll be approximately 80 students and teachers in the next room, and so we're just asking the board's approval to stay open late on that Friday evening.
We've never had it, it was usually on Monday through Thursday before, is that correct? So it never ran into going over?
I don't know.
Because we've never had this request before. We've
That
had
is-
Famished for Fiction every year.
Right, it is, after this was put on the agenda, I was informed that previous administrations had made that decision without bringing it to the board.
Oh.
So, it is my belief that anytime the building is open to the public, that the board needs to make that decision for us. So,
Thank you.
I had indicated that I did not think that the board would be opposed to that, but did want to get your official
Now, the rest
permission.
of the library will close this.
Yes, it's only the Baxter Room that will remain open, and there will be a maintenance person here and library staff, as well as teachers from the various schools and the students.
Curious about how many people do you expect?
I think it's about 80. The head of youth services had indicated to me that usually there's about 80 total. So I'm just asking the board to stay open later that particular evening.
I move that we stay open on Friday, May 3rd, 2013, about the planning meeting for the just a planning meeting?
No, that was my misunderstanding. I said, this is the
That is
actual
the
meeting.
actual
This is the
meeting.
actual
Yeah.
meeting,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The first email from the librarian that puts us together was
For the
clear,
Famished
so-
for Fiction meetup on May 3rd, 2013, and allow the library to stay open until 8, the Baxter Room and the washrooms to stay open until 8 o'clock p.m.
I'll second that motion.
No further discussion. Paul, can you call the vote?
Sure. Trustee Novick?
Yes.
Trustee Peters?
Yes.
Trustee Alpers?
Yes.
Trustee Berg? Yes. Trustee Callahan?
Yes.
And Trustee Goldston?
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty, performance review of the record.
As I indicated in the board prep, and in my report and both in print and orally to you, the staff evaluations were conducted in December. I would like to keep the performance evaluation of the director on the same schedule if at all possible. I know that there had been some discussion of having a kind of probationary 6-month meeting, how am I doing sort of thing. And just wanted to ask the board if that was something they wanted to do, and if so, we should probably schedule that, or if they wanted to postpone that or wait. But as I said, I would like to keep all of the reviews on the same schedule. It makes it easier for scheduling and budgeting purposes.
I would favor a review. I
Okay.
mean, it's, well, you let us know how we're doing, we'll let you know how you're doing. So maybe I'll get with you to figure out a schedule and a timetable, and then we'll bring the rest of the board in.
That's fine.
All
But it
right?
would have to be pretty soon, otherwise
It's up to, it doesn't, it
Because
can
the
be
6
whenever
months
it
are
works
off.
out. The 6
Yeah.
months is actually, was January 2nd,
Was
but
it?
like I
Yeah.
said, as long as we keep it, and next year certainly we could, plan for it sooner, but with everything going on. But I would like to keep it as close to the other evaluations as possible.
I'm all in favor of open communication, so let's talk about how we're all doing.
So is the board comfortable with Mark and I talking about possible dates and letting you know that, so that everything? Okay.
I'm with Mark on this.
So do we need a motion, or we just need to agree that we'll set some dates and bring it out to the board?
I'm not
You
sure.
could set some dates and then you could just post your meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do it that then.
Okay.
All right, I'll get with you soon.
Okay.
C, planning meetings.
Again, did the board want to reschedule the meeting that we had to postpone or cancel last week due to my emergency surgery?
Well, since we're doing some long-term planning and talking about the building, I'd say
Yes.
let's get it going as soon as we can.
Okay, so I don't know if people brought their calendars. Again, I don't know when, what works for everyone.
My last week of this month isn't good,
Okay.
but February was pretty flexible.
Our regular meetings in February are the 19th for the Finance Committee meeting and the 21st for the regular board meeting.
We have it at the top of the month, since we're already delayed.
And that's fine with me, if that works for the rest of the board.
You gotta do the prep work, so whatever's gonna fit into your schedule.
We could do it the week of the 4th, any of those evenings. I have open, I don't know about everyone else's schedule. Do Tuesdays or Thursdays work better or worse?
Yes,
for-
Tuesdays-
Better, not
Tuesdays or
Wednesdays?
Thursdays,
Okay.
not Wednesdays.
What if we did Tuesday the 7th?
Tuesday,
Yeah.
the 7th is fine.
Okay. So,
7 PM?
yes,
Do we need a motion? No, we just need to schedule.
we need to schedule it and I'll make sure it's posted.
Yeah, or you could just, you could have a motion that you're gonna meet,
We have a special meeting.
we're gonna have a special meeting.
It's Tuesday, February,
7th, at 7
Tuesday?
PM.
is that a Tuesday?
Oh, I'm sorry,
No,
Thursday, I'm
Thursday, I was
saying
gonna-
Tuesday, Thursday,
It's a
February
Thursday.
7th, yes.
Thursday, okay.
I
At
was
7
looking at
PM.
the calendar.
I'm
and
sorry,
not
saying
saying
yeah,
that.
I know, and I'm looking right at the 2 and I just say.
Alternative.
Because I know I've got something on the 6th, which is Wednesday, so. okay.
Yes, Thursday, February 7th at 7
7
PM.
PM, okay.
I move that we have a special meeting Thursday, February 7th at 7 PM to talk about long-term planning for the future of Marlboro Public Library.
Oh, that's an open meeting?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
It
I
has to
get
be an open
a
meeting.
second on that?
God, no, wait a second.
Set.
Did you raise your hand?
Did you make a motion yet?
I made the motion, Barb seconded it.
All right.
I'm gonna be known as the second.
And we probably would need a
Just
vote.
call the roll call.
Call a vote. All
Thank
right,
you.
we'll start with you, Kathy.
Yes.
Trustee Peters, yes. Trustee Elvers,
Yes.
trustee Burke, yes. Trustee Kelmack,
Yes.
trustee Goldstein,
Yes.
and trustee Novick. Yes.
Communications, there were none this month?
Actually, I take that back, we have 2.
We got one.
I apologize, I was going to hand this out at the beginning of the meeting. There are 2 invitations that were sent to the library and to the board that I will pass out to you. One is from the Village of Skokie, the kickoff of their Coming Together in Skokie program. They did ask that all invitations be extended to the board members. Also attached to that is an invitation to the Warren Grove Chamber of Commerce dinner. If anyone would like to attend, that is also attached there. So those are the 2 communications that came in this month.
All right.
Forget the VIP dinner because it's the 7th of February.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. So.
It's at 5:30.
5:30.
You could go to the dinner and come to the
And
meeting.
eat
There.
fast.
Eat
Maybe it's
fast.
gonna last longer than that.
Fast.
You said there were 2 communications here?
Yeah, the one
I
that,
only have 1.
you should have the top
There's
one.
an invite,
Is the
2
invite
pages.
to the Skokie, the Morton Grove, the
The
Skokie
top
Coming
page
Together.
is the Skokie.
Right?
Page
And then
2 is the
page
invite to the
2,
VIP.
Oh,
is
the
the
Morton
invite,
Grove.
right.
Sorry.
You know, that could be a problem with the dinner and our meeting at the same time.
Yeah, now that I was not even paying attention to those dates, now that everyone knows that that is the date of the dinner, do they want to
Can we
reschedule?
move it to Tuesday then?
Are you going to the chamber? Would you have normal, anybody have normally
We have
gone?
gone.
They're installing me as a board of director
Oh.
of the
You should
chamber.
probably go.
And then you
Yeah.
probably go.
I think you better do that.
All right.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna amend
Is the
the,
5th.
Or just make a motion to reschedule the meeting.
okay.
Uh,
Does a Tuesday work, you guys?
Does the Tuesday the 5th work?
That's the
Everyone?
meeting.
Not as good, but it'll work.
It's not as good for me, but it will work as well. But
So nobody will be happy before we do that?
Well, let's make everybody okay.
I
We're all
move
about
that we
happy.
reschedule the meeting to Tuesday, February 5th.
Second?
Second.
No further discussion, Paul, if you would.
Okay.
There is a question that we have, that I have on this, for the Martin Grove Chamber dinner. in the past, the library trustees have been invited, and we've had a table there. So I'm mentioning it because it has been done in the past, and we are part of the community, and this is,
It will be up to the trustees since the table is $400.
Yeah, 400 for 10 spots.
So, I will leave that entirely
There's a
to the
nice little typing
trustees.
error here.
So,
The 2013 VIP, if the year.
If the year,
And they tell me I make mistakes. It wasn't making any sense to me.
Do we need to vote on this?
person.
Well, we need to vote on the,
Motion,
we
so-
did want to vote on the date of the meeting
We
of
did make a
February
motion,
5.
so.
So we had the second on that.
Okay. All who are okay with the meeting rescheduled to 2/5 at 7 PM? Trustee Kelmack?
Yes.
Trustee Goldstein?
Yes.
Trustee Novick?
Yes.
Trustee Peters?
Yes.
Trustee Alpers?
Yes.
Trustee Berg? Yes.
As far as us attending that, I never gave it any thought that the library would fund our attending that sort of an event. So, I know, it's not been
We can pay
budgeted.
for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we pay for it out of our own pockets,
I just.
and we got a table, that'd be okay.
The library should be.
Represented, sure.
If the trustees would like to do that, if everyone wants to let me know if they're going to attend, and I can send in just one sheet, because there is.
Also goes for the director.
Right, yeah, so then, I just need to know by, the date, say, by Friday, February 1st, I have to let, the chamber know if we're gonna have a table. So if the trustees could let me know, who is interested in the meeting and forwarding any funds onto me, or reimbursing the library.
Should also have several members of the library, because it's a table for 10.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so we'll need to,
So if it's how much a table?
it's either $45 a person.
400.
Or 40 per person if we
40 per
get a
person.
table.
40.
We can still send in one sheet, but then
Sure.
we don't have to necessarily say we're gonna take the whole table. So, if trustees could let me know by,
Did you get money?
by the 25th,
How'd you get money?
you will either need to make a check out to the Morton Grove Chamber of Commerce, and you can give that to me and I can send in all the checks, or the library can write one check and the trustees can reimburse the library. However, we think, we want to do that.
I think keep it simple and let everybody hand you a check.
Okay.
Yeah, I would,
So-
I'd rather do that as
I'm-
the treasurer.
That's fine.
Too.
Why
So
complicate
if
it?
trustees could let me know if they're going to attend, and if so, a check by Friday, January 25th,
And what they want to eat.
and what you want to eat.
Well, having been at the end of organizing these, it's nothing more frustrating than you're counting and.
Yeah, and the menu is on the
short
top of the signage, the sign-up sheet, but I will send in one sheet once I get everyone's.
All right.
We have what,
I will work now because I'll be out of town for next
Okay,
week.
so
I'll
you-
be going.
okay, David, I don't see any reason why I can't go, so.
You should be able to select other librarians that are going, and not, you shouldn't have to pay anything, of course.
Well,
It should come out of the library fund because you're representing the library.
why should the taxpayers pay for the librarian to go to the Chamber of Commerce meeting?
Because we're supporting the Chamber of Commerce.
I supported the Chamber of Commerce last year to play golf at a tune of $140, and it came out of my pocket. I will personally pay my check. And being a fiscal conservative, I will pay my check.
Yeah.
And I will also.
Mr. Holstein, you're going to
So,
be
so,
going.
so what's the,
I think we should all go.
Yeah,
If we can,
I think
If
we
you
can.
can.
But as I said, trustees could let me know for sure, and they get their monies to me by Friday, January 25th. That should give me enough time to get all that all sent to the chamber.
Now, if we have, there's 7 trustees and
I
it
will
would be 8.
go.
You're,
Did you want to go with the library, Frank?
I'd
or were
love to
you-
sit with you guys.
Okay,
Put me at your table.
okay.
well, that would probably be 8, we need 10.
We don't need 10. I
We
mean,
don't.
we could buy a table for 400. There's
Okay.
a slight discount if you purchase a whole table, but we don't have to.
We don't have, we
Right.
can do.
We
You'll
just
know
do it.
within, you'll know within a week or so
But
if you're gonna need
It's
it.
better to have a table
Yeah,
I'll
than
put it
it's
together,
marked
we save $5.
as such as.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right, it gets some
Yeah.
recognition.
Okay,
We should put it together.
at
Yeah,
the table.
we will do 10. Look at it.
Okay.
We'll get that.
Okay.
So can we just reimburse, because I'll leave tomorrow, I will not be interested.
If the
I'll
library's
put
going to
your
get-
money in and then you can pay me.
No interest.
Well, the thing,
No,
if I'm signing us up for a table, there is a discount. It's only 400 then. So it might be, depending on, it might be easier to have the library pay and then divide up how many trustees actually then to go so that you'll reimburse the library for the exact amount. It would be a suggestion, a way that we
Okay,
can do it,
whatever-
particularly given that.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay,
You're gonna let us know.
I will let you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going, Dave?
I'll leave tomorrow.
He's gonna go to the dinner, but he wasn't gonna be here on the 25th, so he let us know tonight that he would be going.
Well, then just give Mark $40 and we'll be flush.
No, he's paying for me.
This is Dave. We'll figure out the finance part of it, but
Yeah.
just I will assume all trustees will be going unless I hear otherwise, in the next week and a half.
We do millions of dollars in a budget, we can't figure out how to pay for
I would
it.
not pay for one table.
That's the problem, it's not enough,
It's not, yeah, not complicated.
charge more.
Want to do, any public comments on non-agenda items this evening? None? Then let's go to some unfinished business.
The trustees would find it and found in their packets, except for Mark, because of his, which I still don't know why. New information on the carpet proposals. I had, as per board request, gotten further information from Trend Carpet regarding both paying prevailing wage and a new bid on just the sections that we had originally discussed moving forward with, primarily being the services area. And you will note from the new spreadsheet that the number is very close to the numbers for Empire Carpet and Flooring Solutions with the updated budget numbers from Trend Carpet.
Why are they the only ones quoting on the stairs?
They came out separately and we measured them as a part of that. The other ones, the stairs are included, but they're not broken out in quite the same way.
Okay.
So like I said, it's a little hard comparing apples to apples because everyone did something slightly different.
Of course.
So, and the 28.8 that I have in a final column, that does not include the stairs. So anything that, redoing the stairs would be in addition to any of these numbers that I have involved.
Flooring Solutions is the only one that broke it down by grade. of
They were the only one
carpet.
that gave me 3 different carpet options, and that was after further discussions with the particular representative. So that was the only reason. The other ones were kind of stuck with one brand
Do
of
we know
carpet.
what?
Didn't they give you,
what-
didn't Trend give you 2? There's an A and a B on Trend.
They had given, I'm looking at the old one. To find the original quote, and I'm sorry.
We have a level A for 54.9 and a level B for 65.
Yeah, the Trend also did, I had looked at a couple of different level carpets so the original quote from Trent had also broken things down. They're very, very close in quality. One's a Bigelow, one was a, I can't remember, I have to
Is that the Bigelow versus Interface?
Yeah, that's it. And Flooring Solutions had a number of other options that were of comparable quality that the others did not present to me. And,
Did any of them, I'm sorry, I somehow misplaced the original.
okay.
Because my phone is a mess. Did any of them speak, not to guarantee their work, but the warranty on the carpet, how long it would last? I have a thing about carpet tiles, that the edges begin to fray, making the room look like a checkerboard.
Beyond the standard warranties, no one had indicated that they offer an extended warranty, if you will.
What was the lifespan of the carpet on any of them?
Depending on the quality, on the grade, I mean, you can spend, it depends whatever you want to do. Whatever the standard lifetime is, I mean, it could be 20 years. I would have to look, at the particular brand that we end up.
Yeah, no, I
with.
was just curious.
I understand your concern, Trustee Novick. I do think that carpet tiles have dramatically improved.
Okay,
I
I mean, that's conceivable, my
Yeah,
experience is several years old.
Carpet tiles are increasingly and incredibly popular, and particularly in public institutions.
No, I realize the
just
advantages.
because you don't have to
Yeah, no, I understand the
replace.
advantages completely.
Yeah.
We just put them in our nursing facility that I work in. I just went in on Monday.
Well, there they get to change them all the time.
Well, I said, that's why we put them in. I was against it, not because of the carpet tiles, just because they don't carpet that.
To put down carpet in the first place.
Yeah.
In that particular
Put it down
area.
In that area just is not a smart idea, longevity wise, it just doesn't happen.
Not a smart idea, no.
I am not concerned about that particular.
No,
issue
I
with
don't
tiles,
not.
so-
But the tiles they put in, I could see the improvement in the quality, yes, and just looking at it, I said,
Yeah.
oh, they look pretty good.
Is there a reason that we're talking about putting carpet in the elevator instead of ceramic tile or something else that would catch some of the dirt before it goes out, be easier to clean and look great and last longer?
It was my understanding that the board wanted, if not carpet, then some sort of rubber tiling. I had not ever heard anything mentioned about any other type of tiling. Certainly, we can look at something like that. I would not put ceramic in an elevator. I don't even know if one does, but if we want something that is more of a standard tile, I would absolutely imagine that this can be done.
I would strongly suggest some kind of tile, very strongly.
Yeah, that would not be a problem for any of these.
Rubber
installments.
tiles I don't know rubber tiles as well, but ceramic, more and more buildings are putting them in the lobbies and in elevators, because they're not they are not slippery if if you buy the right kind. So that's not an issue, and they're very easy to clean compared to anything else.
Ceramic tiles in and of themselves will be probably more expensive than other.
Definitely
vinyl
will
tiles.
be.
We're talking about very
So-
small.
Yeah,
Right,
we're only
absolutely.
talking about 5 square feet.
I
or
don't
something.
foresee that, choosing some type of tiling to put in the elevator would be an issue for any of the carpet companies that we would choose. So it would just be a matter of pricing.
Yeah, I was
as
just
said,
bringing
my-
up the point of, do we want carpet in there?
Yeah,
rather than
like
something
my
that you
understanding
clean?
was the board wanted either carpet or some kind of more soft, floor in there, but, which is why I did not.
Which is what I thought I heard the last time too.
Okay,
Maybe
so
some kind of a
that's
rubber
me.
floor. No,
Yeah, no.
you're not alone. This is the
Okay.
first time I heard tile in the elevator,
Okay.
so.
Oh, well,
So
I
moving
did
forward,
read it up last
once
time.
you
Yeah, I
make
thought
a
Barb
decision,
mentioned
you
it
can
last
decide.
time.
Yeah.
Brought it up last
Yeah,
time.
but I heard it from.
I would stay away from carpet and
I'm with Bart. The other thing, I don't know exactly what the ADA stance is on carpeting, but maneuvering of a wheelchair or any type of device on that on carpeting is more difficult.
definitely.
There is actually,
There's a standard, there's
there's
actually
standard
a final
in-
standard.
And in
Yeah.
the letter that Frank had sent to us, which was
Uh-huh.
included in your packets, he does outline what that standard is. I don't remember exactly
For
what
the
it is.
two
It
different
depends on-
organizations.
Right.
I actually read them.
Yeah, so, however, carpet tiles certainly meet that.
I think they do.
a regular vinyl tile, if we should choose to go in that direction, a ceramic tile, I would imagine also would meet that.
And I'll just throw out that it's a half inch, and when you look at the specs, I don't have my, I of course forgot to bring the December packet, but when I looked at the specs that were provided, all those carpets were, some even under a quarter of an inch.
All of the
Very,
carpets
very
that have
tight.
been quoted and shown to us have been put in other,
Yeah,
public and
public
commercial
spaces,
buildings.
right.
So, yeah, I mean, we're not looking at a pile carpet that you would put in your home or something like that.
I still have a question about removing tile that has asbestos in it.
The asbestos removal, I did ask Mr. Tennant to look into that as well, and it is his opinion, as was also outlined in that letter, and not something that we need to address, at least right now, but as long as there is no change in purpose, ADA does not come into play. So if you're just, if
Aren't
you're,
you spreading the asbestos when you remove the tile?
well, we would have abatement done once, you know, any areas that we're actually having abatement done.
Well, we're not talking
But we're
about
not
the
talking
mezzanine
about
right
the
now.
mezzanine,
No, I know.
talking-
We're just talking about
the
youth
youth
services in the
services.
first floor.
That right now has tile under
We're
Youth
not talking
services
about
does not
any.
have asbestos under the youth services floor department.
it. There's not.
There's not,
That's amazing.
Okay.
yeah, and that is, I think in one of the previous packets, there's the photocopies from the survey that was done about 10 years ago of the entire building that outlined every place that there was asbestos, and there is none under the floor of the youth services department.
Fine.
There is some asbestos tile in the staff lounge area, but not in the youth services department. And as long as, and you can pull the carpet up, when abatement becomes necessary is when that tile that's underneath starts to break up. So as long as anything that's covering the tile comes up without pulling out tiles or breaking tiles, you can still remove those carpets and do something over that.
Okay.
It's just once the tiles start becoming friable. I know more about asbestos now than I ever wanted to, so.
I bet you do.
So, but yeah, the youth services department does not have asbestos tile underneath. So, getting back to the spreadsheet and the carpet proposals that were given to us, quite frankly, I would be happy with any of these carpet installers and carpet companies. I felt they were all very qualified. If Empire, I felt, paid a lot of attention to the actual installation of the carpet. They are a little bit pricier, you know, minimally at this point, as we're looking at this. I would feel very comfortable with their installers. Flooring Solutions, as I said, gave us some different options. They're certainly the cheapest. And again, I felt very, you know, I felt that they would do a good job as well. Trend Carpet, while a small organization, you can see with the updated quote, they're coming in actually in the middle. So I recommend Flooring Solutions simply because I felt that they had a wider variety of product that we could choose from, both in terms of color and quality, that might give us some other options, and besides some of the things that I had seen from the other carpet companies. So
One of the things I would also suggest, if we do go with Flooring Solutions, I would go with the highest grade because it's still priced lower than the others.
Well, and also we're missing an apple to apple because Trend Carpet was very, very, very much lower in last month's. And what's been broken out this time is just youth services and the staff lounge, and the main floor number hasn't been filled in.
well, I did not
And if
ask
you
them to
do-
quote the main floor number. I do believe that this came in at the price that it did. As I mentioned at the December meeting, I had been concerned that Trend in their original quote had not indicated that they paid prevailing wage.
Did you ask them to quote with a different brand of, with a different type of carpeting?
No, it's the same exact thing. So based on that, should we move forward with carpeting the main floor, which I had also suggested we might want to move forward because of some timing issues, and some other discussions that I have had with other staff, in terms of the timing of all the carpet replacement and long-term planning and stuff like that. My assumption based on Trend's updated quote is that we would see a corresponding increase should we ask them to re-quote for the main floor as well. Again, I think that all four of the companies, including Tiles and Styles, which I did not include on the second spreadsheet, came in very, very close to one another in terms of the overall cost when we were estimating for the whole building, or the various sections. So as I mentioned in my preparation, I believe that there's a number of motions that need to be made, and we probably should have made those first, and I apologize, we did not do this in quite the right order. That the board needs to choose whether or not they're going to move forward with the carpeting. We haven't discussed at all whether or not we want to do the main floor, and then the lower level is outlined in terms of scheduling. Who to award the contract to, and then also, which we have not discussed, the quote from the Hallett and Bruce to move the shelving and the materials in the services department.
Well, I have a feeling that the cart is very much before the horse because we did, for very good reasons, have to cancel the meeting that was supposed to be last week that would have covered a lot of this. I don't feel prepared to make a decision to choose a vendor when I haven't seen the carpet, I haven't seen the colors, I haven't seen any of this stuff, and I don't have a quote for trend for the main floor, when your recommendation said that the very first thing we should go with is the main floor. And so I just feel like I'm missing too many pieces to make a decision.
And I know that at the previous meeting, we had talked about just doing the services department, and after some, as I mentioned, other meetings with staff and schedules and timetables, because the youth services department will probably have to be closed for at least part of the time that the carpet is replaced down there, we very quickly ran into when that could be done with minimal disruption. And then, yeah, and so for youth services, we were thinking August. Then that, because that got bumped further out than we had originally thought, then staff and I started to revisit some of the other suggestions that we had had, or, that we had had from, from people and things that we've been thinking about, such as recarpeting the main area. Because as I said, that would be least disruptive. We're not moving a lot of shelving, that shelving is staying in one place. It's something that we had discussed anyway, so that was why those things had kind of changed.
My questions on these are the warranties all about the same?
Yes.
That were warranties, not only the carpeting, but the installation?
Yeah, they're all pretty standard.
All pretty standard.
Yeah.
I didn't get my board packet till
Right.
roughly 2 o'clock today. And I respect your judgment and trust what you do, but I would feel pretty uncomfortable tonight voting on awarding the business. I didn't get enough time to look at it.
Okay.
And there's a few questions out in the field here. The warranty, the type of carpet. Could we give Pam a list of questions that she could answer and provide us answers with on the February 7th meeting? And maybe
Or could we have a meeting of the Building and Grounds Committee, or whoever else would be interested in being on the carpet committee, so that we can look at the colors and the swatches and exactly what we're talking about, and,
We have a committee for that. It's a
we have Building and Grounds.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if we
They
can
can
convene
cooperate
it.
with Pam, she's.
Yeah, but I wanted to offer, if anybody else wanted to be, because we can have any kind of committee we want, if there are other board members that would want to be involved besides just the three of us on Building and Grounds.
I think we're
Because
making too much.
Barb's an interior decorator, and it would be helpful if she could see the swatches, if you're interested in seeing the swatches.
Oh, can't wait.
I don't know if I have swatches for everything that we're talking about. So I have a lot of carpet samples in my office right now, and certainly I don't have an issue with that. So I would recommend that the entire board be part of that meeting. So the questions that I'm hearing that need to be addressed for our next meeting then would be, it seems like the board is interested in having a trend I'm sorry.
Well, something to do with the main, what was it, the main
Requoting the main
quote?
floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
a global quote for trend and Flooring Solutions using the exact same type of, I'm sure that they were both quoting the, let's see.
It's either the Bigelow or the.
Exactly.
Or the interface.
Yeah. And the Trend also offers, the Working Together collection. Which is Bigelow, that's
Yeah,
Bigelow.
they all have
Yeah.
that. That basically, that's
The prettier stuff.
no, it's basically
Oh.
it's the carpet and rolls that matches the carpet tile. That they work together, that's all it is, so,
That's, yeah.
yeah, that's all that is,
Is
so.
there any estimates on the labor time involved by area?
Not broken out, it's all included as part of the quote.
Yeah.
That includes time and materials.
And time, how long are we talking then total?
For what?
Well, I was wondering for the youth services for,
Youth services will probably be a couple of days.
okay. I kinda had this really crazy idea, which I'll probably get hissed out of here, booed out of here. What if the library simply closed for a week? Could it be done in a week?
Well, it could be done in a week, then you get into when you're going to close the library for a week. That's gonna cause the least amount of disruption.
I said it was crazy.
I mean,
It's
there
an
are times
idea,
that have
but
to be.
it might not be met too well by the patrons.
Right.
Oh.
Certainly, it's always easier if you don't have to worry about public coming in and safety issues and those kinds of things, absolutely. But, you know, as we are a public institution, we try to minimize the time that we're closing the entire building to the public. So, as I said, it sounds like what I'm hearing is we would like Trent to requote for the main floor, look at the, try to requote the main floor, and make sure everyone's quoting the same carpet.
Right, and then have
At
samples
least the
to
same
look at.
grade.
Yeah, the same grade. And I guess as long as I'm voicing concerns, I'm a little concerned that we only have one quote for the movers. We just have Hallett movers, can we get another quote?
We can if I can find one. I've been in the library business for 22 years, and this is the only company I know that does this for libraries.
Wow, it sounds like somebody should find another company. Yeah.
It's not an easy.
May not be a big enough market for two companies.
Yeah.
Right. I will
It's pretty
see what I can
specialized.
find. I will certainly poll other directors and other libraries to see if anyone's used anyone else. But quite frankly, like I said, I've been doing this for
That seems
over
like
20
a lot
years.
of money,
And,
that seems like a
yeah.
big quote, because it's
Well,
so
if they're
not
the
all
only ones
inclusive.
that got it made.
Right, and if you look at the quote, there's a lot of stuff that isn't included in it.
Right.
And so who knows what that final number will be? It's
For the
not-
movers,
Mhm.
everything is
No,
included.
it's quoted.
Mm.
They've broken out a number of
I'll
things.
move the stuff for
Or they
that.
got the
How
20.
large,
Yeah.
how large of a dumpster do they say they need?
Um,
Just curious, it's a small.
The
20.
dumpster we support.
What, yeah, and they'll supply that or look at one, we'll tell us what we need. I,
Because I've had already, I've had 4 dumpsters at my house, and the all I've been looking at is great. Yeah, we're renovating.
Here, it does not include the removal and replacement of any single-phase units that are built-in or freestanding electrical disconnect or reconnect throughout the library or any building furniture.
right,
I knew it didn't include everything.
right.
Do you have any single phase units that are removed?
No, what he's indicating here are the shelves that are along the walls in the youth services department, which will not be moved. So,
They'll be carpeted around?
yes. They do not move any furniture, so, but we do have staff that can move the furniture. We're talking about moving the collection and the shelves.
And will there be any electrical disconnected?
There should not be.
Would this be a good opportunity if we needed to add any?
I don't think we're allowed to add that.
Yeah, I don't, to me, that then we're getting into a whole other issue, not so much about ADA, what we can add and that kind of thing, but,
Now you turn into the floors.
yeah, it's going into the floors or possibly other walls and stuff, and, you know, is an entire redesign of the department that, I mean, that it turns very quickly into something besides replacing the carpet.
Okay.
I mean,
I just thought as long as carpet's up, if there's anything else you wanted to do.
I don't
It's
know
also definitely maybe
how
use-
many, Kevin, perhaps you have a better idea in terms of the outlets in the floor in youth services? Are there many?
In the
Or
floor?
are they mostly in the walls and the?
I can't imagine there's any in the floor.
Yeah, I think that removing the carpet in that area will probably not going to.
Given there's no outlets hardly any place.
Right. Yeah. I think any outlets in the
Lot of
services
extension
department are
cords.
in walls.
Oh, we do,
or-
believe me.
Or
I
the
don't wanna
wires
know
would
about
run
it.
up to the ceiling. So replacing the carpet would have minimal impact on that. We would be able to do those kinds of things at a later date in walls. Okay, so recarpeting main floor, same carpet, same grade. Keeping in mind, I will, be contacting these companies first thing next week. I am actually taking tomorrow off due to my health. So I will make every effort to have these questions answered by the meeting that we have scheduled already. You know, some of that is going to be dependent on
Yeah, so let's
the
plan
carpet
that.
installer
Yeah.
timetables as well, and when they can get back to me. I will see what I can find about other movers. As I said, I've been doing this a long time, and I've never heard of anyone else that does this for libraries. Not to say that they're not out there. I just have never heard of anyone else. Hallett's been doing this for a long, long time and
Yeah.
have a very good reputation in the library community. So, but I will see what other quotes I can find. We have discussed, the staff and I, quite extensively whether or not we would be able to move the shelves and the materials in the youth services department, and it would just simply be, we just don't, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Why contact a mover who's never done it before? They don't know what to expect.
Right, I mean, they move libraries. I mean, this is a big part of
This is
what
their
they do.
job, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, they're very good about keeping things in order and, you know, from, I mean, you know, the
It's
whole
what they
thing, and
do.
rather than just having someone put stuff in a box and then we've got to, you know, put it all back on the shelf in the right way and stuff. They've been doing this for a number of years. I will see if there's anyone else out there doing that though, as well. And then samples. One of the advantages if we wait till August, as I propose to do the youth services department, is that they are undergoing extensive weeding. So our goal is to have fewer items for them to pick up. I don't know what kind of impact they would have on the, you know, the actual cost. But, you know, presumably every or, you know, the fewer items that need to be packed up and moved, the less money we would spend on that. Okay, so I have re-quoting main floor from Trend. Make sure we're getting quotes for at least the same grade of carpet from everyone. Other companies besides Hallett for moving, and then carpet samples, if at all possible.
And is the elevator a separate issue, or is it all in this?
The board would need to give me some, I mean, if they want to have a vinyl tile, if they want to have a ceramic tile, if they want.
I know we mentioned a rubber floor or
A rubber
something
floor,
before, so now it's ceramic tile.
It's whatever the board,
Whatever.
everybody wants, but
I would ask them what has a better life.
I would,
Ceramic tile can crack, rubber tile can crack, it could dry out. I think, I don't know.
okay,
I mean, I just would ask them what they suggest for the high traffic area that it is.
my concern is just that we leave as much dirt in the
Well,
elevator
yeah.
as we can.
That's why I rub my feet all the way to my apartment, not down the hallway.
okay, so our primary concern is longevity and not tracking dirt
Dirt
from the
retention,
library.
yeah. And when Barb mentioned ceramic last month,
I thought
that
I
got me
mentioned
thinking,
rubber.
because.
Actually, I
yeah,
mentioned rubber.
I don't remember hearing ceramic, I do remember hearing rubber, so I apologize.
I don't remember.
Because I have real bumbly ceramic in my house, and the reason is because the dogs run in and out of the dog door, and the dirt is gone before it gets to the main part of the house. That's what we do
We
that.
don't have any dogs here.
No, we have kids. It's just, with dirty boots.
I didn't know they were equitable.
Well, what I'm talking about is the dirt coming off of the
This
feet
isn't apples and
before it
oranges.
gets, it's not.
Okay, so it sounds as if we're postponing this vote, but then I believe you would have to make a motion to postpone.
Or we just
Or-
don't take, or we
or
just
we
don't
don't.
take
No,
the
You
action.
just don't take any action.
It stays as unfinished business for
No
the
action
next.
taken. Okay.
And if you decide, if you want to, you can, because you're gonna post a notice for your special meeting, if you wanted to take action, then you could put it on the
Let's
agenda.
make sure it's on the agenda in case we take action.
Yeah.
But you can just put it on the
Would
agenda.
it, would
if you
it
do
be
decide
of
to.
any benefit to have, to invite somebody from Trend and somebody from Forest Solutions to that meeting?
To what end? Even when they came out to measure and talk with me, I probably talked with them for about 5 minutes, and they dropped off
Only
samples
to,
and that
yeah,
kind of
only
thing.
to ask questions
So-
that weren't at, you know, as far as warranty and things that weren't at the tip of, you know, the things that we didn't have answers for tonight. It'd be nice if there was some kind of.
It is my sense that the questions that the board is interested in finding out, that those should be things that we can do, or that I could easily find out, particularly more, you know, all of these things I can. My concern with that is that, you know, I mean, if the board really feels that they need to do that,
I think we'd be
yeah.
opening a can of worms that we don't wanna get involved with. So if we get the information on paper and make a decision on the money, I think we'd be all right. But I would say any concerns that you have,
Yeah, if
send a
certainly if
note over
anyone
to our
thinks of something that
director
we haven't
and let her
addressed
address it.
so far,
Yeah.
let me know as soon as possible so that I can make sure that all the companies that we're looking at are getting the same pieces of information, and asking the same things of.
Yeah.
keep the playing field.
You know, it's even with the RFP, I mean, you saw that, you know, it's very hard to have them all kind of quote the same thing. So even though they've been instructed pretty clearly, so we'll do what we can to make sure we're comparing, you know, apples to apples to apples.
Yeah, I guess what I would suggest is in these delineations between A, B, and C, if we knew what A stood for and B stood for and C stood for.
It's probably the,
Then we
it's
would
it's
know.
the length of life.
Well,
The lifeline
well, no,
to
isn't it,
somebody.
isn't one Bigelow and one something else and one?
Are you talking about the actual names of the carpet, the brand names? Is that what
Yeah.
you're
The
looking
brand
at?
name doesn't mean anything, the brand is
Well,
more
what I
important.
mean is that we can
Quality.
see that you're comparing Bigelow X to whatever other brand Y, or Bigelow this or
I
that.
mean, I'm making the assumption that grade A is grade A, whether it's Bigelow or Mohawk or whoever makes it.
Well, I don't think, Tam, you didn't do this by grade though, did you? They were just, it was from lower to highest, right? So,
The spreadsheet?
yeah, so actually the highest,
In the original.
Level
quote
C
from
had the
Flooring
highest grade.
Solutions- Yeah, I mean, and that was just the way
So
that
we
I
didn't-
put it on there.
right.
I mean, yeah,
A didn't mean grade A,
Right,
B
but-
didn't mean grade B.
But that was just the way that I put it on the spreadsheet.
Right.
We can change that if we want, that's fine. In the original quote from Flooring Solutions, I do believe that they tell what carpet it was. But I will make sure that we have the brand names and all of the questions that the board has raised this evening. So,
Oh, and Trend included the cove base, and I didn't see,
and
Carpet
from the
Solution
other,
included.
from the other companies, you're talking about the vinyl
Mhm.
edging, that was all included.
Okay,
They
great.
did not quote it as separate, that was included in the carpet.
So any other concerns, get them over to Pam as soon as you can.
And we will, look at this again at the February 5th meeting.
Yeah.
And hopefully make a decision at that point.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah, be nice.
Yeah.
And as I said, and as Mark said, if anyone thinks of anything when they leave here that they would also like to know, you drop me an email or call me. I won't be in tomorrow, but I will certainly get this first thing.
All right. Nothing further on carpet. Any reason to go into executive session?
None of this time.
None? Then can I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second. A second, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned, thank you.